back to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We now move on to The Lion King 1.5, which came out in 2004. So let's get to know this cast. Nathan Lane was Timon. Ernie Sabella was Pumbaa. Julie Kavner was Timon's mom. Jerry Stiller was Uncle Max. Matthew Broderick was Simba. Matt Weinberg was young Simba. Moira Kelly was Nala. Robert Guillemeau was Rafiki. Whoopi Goldberg was Shenzi. Cheech Marin was Benzi. Jim Cummings was Ed and Doc. Edward Hebert was Zazu. Kevin Shawn was Iron Joe and Happy. Caroline Gardner was Snow White. Jeff Bennett was Bashful. Corey Burton was Grumpy. Bob Joles was Sneezy. Chris Sanders was Stitch. Bill Farmer was Goofy and Sleepy. Tony Alzama was Donald Duck, and Blaine Weaver was Peter Pan. Now, if you're wondering why I'm listing Lion King characters and other Disney movie characters, you'll understand if you have seen the sequel. At the end of this movie, there are familiar faces seen at the end of the movie. Now we move on to the facts all about The Lion King 1.5. Number 1, the production. In April of 2000, it was announced that the Walt Disney Company had selected Jeff Alholm, Colin Goldman, and Tom Rogers to write the script for The Lion King 3. It was scheduled to arrive in video stores sometime in 2001. Bradley Raymond recalled that it was Thomas Schumacher's idea to retell the Lion King story through the eyes of Timon and Pumbaa. Additionally, Roger Allers and Irene Mecchi, who directed and co-wrote the screenplay for the original Lion King, respectively consulted on this production. According to Raymond, it was Allers who came up with the Mystery Science Theater 3000 inspired framing of the movie. Also, the filmmakers drew inspiration from Tom Stoppard's play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, as the first Lion King movie had drawn inspiration from Hamlet. In May of 2003, The Lion King 1.5 was scheduled for home video release in early spring of 2004, with Nathan Lane, Ernie Sabella, and Matthew Broderick reprising their original roles, and Elton John and Tim Rice returning to compose a new song, That's All I Need. The movie was animated by Walt Disney Animation Australia in Sydney, New South Wales, and Disney Toon Studios in the United States. Number 2, the release. The movie was released direct-to-video on February 10, 2004. Upon its initial release, the movie was accompanied by a marketing campaign tie-in with McDonald's with 6 Happy Meal toys: Simba, Rafiki, Timon, Pumbaa, Mufasa, and Ed. The same promotion was used in international countries for the special edition release of the first Lion King, with 2 additional toys featuring Zazu and Scar. The DVD edition contained music videos, deleted scenes, behind the scenes of how the movie was made, and 2 featurettes. The first one was Timon, the early years. It was a mockumentary tracing Timon's childhood through tongue-in-cheek interviews with family and friends. And the second featurette is Disney's Funniest Moments. It was highlighting Disney animated characters from the Seven Dwarfs up to Brother Bear. There were 3 games that were also featured, including Timon and Pumbaa's Virtual Safari 1.5, a Lion King trivia game in the format of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, titled Who Wants to Be King of the Jungle, and it was hosted by Meredith Vieira because she was hosting the real life Who Wants to Be a Millionaire at the time. And internationally, it was titled The Lion King 3, Hakuna Matata. Number 3, the sales. On its first day of sales, the movie sold 1.5 million DVD copies, and in its first 3 days of release, the movie made about $55 million in sales revenue, 2.5 of which were DVD copies of the movie. By March of 2004, 6 million DVD and VHS copies of the movie had been sold in North America. Number 4, awards and nominations. At the Annie Awards, this movie won for Best Home Entertainment Production, and it was nominated for Music and an Animated Feature Production, but it lost to The Incredibles. At the DVD Exclusive Awards, Nathan Lane won for Best Animated Character Performance. This movie won for Best Animated DVD Premiere Movie. It won for Best Director of a DVD Premiere Movie. It won for Best Editing of a DVD Premiere Movie, and it won for Best Screenplay for a DVD Premiere Movie. And at the Saturn Awards, this movie was nominated for Best DVD Release, but it lost to Starship Troopers 2, Hero of the Federation. Number 5, bonus facts. The movie reveals the story of Timon's origin and how he and Pumbaa first met each other and became friends. However, a vastly similar yet different storyline was originally revealed in the Timon and Pumbaa TV show. That episode was called Once Upon a Timon. This makes The Lion King 1.5 serve as a re-imaged version of that episode. This is the first direct-to-video film released under the Disney Toon Studios label after Disney Movie Toons Disney Video Premiere split from Disney Television Animation, which was then known as Walt Disney Television Animation, to be owned by Walt Disney Animation Studios, which was then named Walt Disney Feature Animation in January of 2003 and then renamed Disney Toon Studios in June of that year. In fact, this also marked the first appearance of the Disney Toon Studio print logo in the end credits. Although the animated logo itself did not appear until 2005's Pooh's Heffalump movie. This movie is the final movie in the Lion King trilogy, but it isn't the last installment in the Lion King franchise. In 2015, Disney later released a television movie called The Lion Guard: Return of the Roar, followed by its tie-in television series that came out in 2016. Now that series follows Simba and Nala's son, which fans were kind of shocked as to how he fit in, considering the Lion King 2 sequel and the way that the TV series was going about. A lot of Disney fans and special fans of The Lion King kept after Disney saying, how does he fit into the plot of The Lion King 2? And during the series finale, Disney did not disappoint, and they kind of figured out how the son ties in and fits in with the whole Lion King 2 sequel and yada yada. Number 6, continuity issues. Aside from Once Upon a Timon, the movie contains a number of retcons and inconsistencies with the original movie. Some of them have explanations, while others are not so easy to explain. Here are the continuity issues that fans have noticed in this movie. The first issue is that Timon does not recognize Rafiki in the original Lion King movie, yet in this movie it shows that he previously met and learned Hakuna Matata from Rafiki and recognized him all throughout his journey. However, one could argue that Timon's line of, "Who's the monkey?" could simply be him exasperated over seeing him pop up so many times and hearing his shamanic sayings. The second continuity issue is this film shows that during Simba's presentation, all the animals in the back passed out due to Pumbaa's gas, making the animals in front mistakenly believe they are bowing and decide to bow themselves. However, in the original Lion King movie, it is shown that none of the animals have passed out. The third continuity issue is that Timon and Pumbaa find their first home on the day Simba was born and are awoken up by, "I just can't wait to be king." It's possible that they stayed there for longer than it was shown, but unlikely considering their reactions making it clear that it's the next day. In addition, all the animals fall on top of each other, crushing Timon and Pumbaa's first home. However, in the original Lion King movie, the animals run away, leaving Zazu trapped under a rhino. The next continuity issue is when an adult Simba and Nala recognize each other and rejoice over their reunion, Timon and Pumbaa are not in their original positions. In the first Lion King movie, Pumbaa was still stuck under the tree root while Timon was on top of him. Whereas in this movie, they are where they are when they started singing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" The next continuity issue is that this film shows Timon witnessing Simba and Nala's fight, in which Simba storms off, making Timon rejoice over their separation. However, in the original Lion King movie, when Nala asks Timon and Pumbaa if they've seen Simba, which happens after her fight with him, Timon replies that he thought Simba was with her. The next continuity issue is when Timon and Pumbaa start to follow Simba as he walks off after his fight with Nala, they immediately find Mufasa's ghost appearing before Simba. However, in the original Lion King movie, it took length of minutes for that to happen, since Simba had to meet Rafiki first, who helped Simba realize who he is. The next continuity issue is that in this movie, Shenzi, Banzi, and Ed chase Timon and Pumbaa into a cave after the hula dance, but in the original Lion King movie, many hyenas, excluding the main trio, are seen chasing them. The next continuity issue is when Simba confronts Scar on top of Pride Rock in the original film. Shenzi, Banzi, and Ed are shown to have followed him to the top and watched Scar calling them the enemies, which leads them and the rest of the hyena clan turning on him. However, this movie shows that the hyena trio and their clan focusing their attention on Timon and Pumbaa while Simba confronts Scar on top of Pride Rock. While it could be interpreted that the hyenas overheard Scar's betrayal before going after the duo, it is highly unlikely as the elapsed time seems too short for that. Number 7, the good points and the bad points. Once again, this is based off of the internet's perspective of whether this was a good sequel or a bad sequel. So, for the good points, fans are saying that it was a funny behind the scenes of a movie, and I gotta say, I think The Lion King 1.5 was the first franchise in the Disney industry to tell a movie like this, give a behind the scenes of an original movie in a different perspective. I think they were the first to do that. The next point is that fans are liking that it was a revisit of a classic. Also, fans are saying that it was an enjoyable spin-off of the first movie. The comedy was more natural and actually landed. And the music is memorable. I gotta say, I have to agree, because you have the classic Lion King songs, Circle of Life, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? But then you got the new songs that are added in, and my favorite song from this movie is the Digatana. That song just gets stuck in your head over and over and over again. As for the bad points, fans are saying that this is not as good as the first or the second Lion King movies. This movie has forgettable characters, and other fans are saying that this was a boring sequel. And a lot of fans are saying that this made the first movie less interesting. And a lot of fans are saying that the supporting characters like Timon and Pumbaa should not have had their own movie. And there you have it, all the facts to The Lion King 1.5. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.